So, a review of episode 4 of Riverdale, and I don't know, maybe some tears along the way. Pull yourself together, man. Another day, another episode of Riverdale has just passed, and every storyline in this episode seemed to grasp my attention. I wanted to sleep on some storylines and just focus on the main one between Mrs. Grundy, Betty, and Archie, but every side storyline seemed to have an effect on me. And by the end of the episode, I was in tears. Well, not really in tears, but I wanted to be. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So it seems to me that whenever Betty has something on her mind and really wants something, and when she really puts her mind to it, she will get it. And that was the case here. So knowing that Mrs. Grundy was at the river on July 4th and that Archie was also at the river, it didn't take her very long to come to a conclusion that they were there together, considering that she student teaches him. And while she's sitting at the table trying to explain this to Jugghead and all the rest of her friends, long and behold, here comes Archie and Mrs. Grundy and Archie's father walking in the restaurant. Well, this totally reveals what Betty was just thinking. So she immediately goes up to Archie, requests to talk to him outside, catch me outside, how about that? And wasting zero time, Betty immediately asked Archie was he at the river with Mrs. Grundy on the day of July 4th. And what does Archie do? Well, he totally doesn't lie like I would have did. He tells the truth and says yes. Well, Betty's on the road here, might as well go further. She then gets him to tell her that it wasn't platonic and that they are actually seeing each other. Well, that was easy. Betty didn't even have to try that time. And the concern on Betty's face immediately reveals that obviously Betty, she's not getting over Archie at all, and it's not even close. So then Veronica comes out there, and as much as I have forgiven her, have totally started liking her character, she kind of ruins a great Betty and Archie moment when she gets her mouth involved. But she did actually say one thing funny when she called Mrs. Grundy Archie's booty tutor. And by the way, before I leave this scene, while you guys probably thought that Cheryl Blossom was going to turn into everyone's friend, fooled you, right? It's not that easy. She's still the conniving witch she was in the first episode, saying what she wants and totally doing what she wants. And also exposing Hermione Lodge for doing her husband's dirty work, as you will find out later on in my review. So then while Archie and Mrs. Grundy are watching a movie, Veronica and Betty, mainly led by Betty, go and break into Mrs. Grundy's car. And we find out that Betty, when she wants something, like I said earlier, she is going to get it. And a moment that I wanted to discuss, while they were in the car, Veronica asked, is Betty going through so much hard work to expose Mrs. Grundy because she still has feelings for Archie, or is she doing this for any other reason? And of course, Betty doesn't have the guts to reveal why she's really doing this. We know you still like Archie. It's okay. He's gonna fall for you someday. But while they're in the car, like the promo said, they find a gun and they also find a fake ID with another name on. I forget the name. I mean, who really cares? It's not Mrs. Grundy. This is not Mrs. Grundy. This is another lady. So then Archie meets up with the girls at his house and they try to explain what they found. Archie, hearing this, seems to not be influenced that Mrs. Grundy is a bad person. Well, not really a bad person, but has something to do with Jason Blossom's murder. And by the way, finding a gun in someone's car, why do you take the gun, Betty? Really? You the reason Mrs. Grundy had to leave in the first place, as you will find out later in the episode. Moving on. So then Mrs. Grundy tells a little sob story on why she is pretending to be someone else because of something with her bad latest relationship. Yeah, I don't really care. So moving on, we get to one of the main topics of the entire episode, and that Jughead is losing his job because of an anonymous buyer who wants to buy the movie theater, the drive-in movie theater. That I haven't seen one of those in a while. I didn't even think they had any anymore. But anyway, we find out that Mr. Andrews is the one who allowed this to happen, and also that he is the reason Jughead's father lost his job before. Interesting. So then we find out that Hermione Lodge is the one who is unanimously buying the drive-in, and she's getting the help from the mayor in a exchange to help her campaign. And at that very moment, Hermione Lodge, you are now my least favorite character. Yes, I don't like you. So then Betty's mom finds the gun in Betty's drawer. Oh, nice going, Betty, of keeping the gun like I said before. And then they come barging in along with Mr. Andrews as Archie and Mrs. Grundy are having a moment, an actual breakup moment. And they come to a conclusion that they will let everything slide as long as Mrs. Grundy leaves the town. And at that very moment, I felt very bad for Mrs. Grundy. So then Archie and Betty have a moment outside their window where Betty apologizes for the shenanigan with Mrs. Grundy because of how deep Betty dug into finding out who she was. And they have a little cute moment where he says he understands and that she was only trying to help. Cute moment. But everything before this was overshadowed by the last scene where we find out that Jughead actually not only works at the drive-in, but he lives here. So after he packs his stuff and leaves and draws Jughead was here outside of the cabin or whatever that is, we have a biker behind him, and I'm sitting here wondering, why are these two storylines crossing paths? But we later find out this biker is Jughead's father. So after Jughead's dad lost his job due to Mr. Andrews, he became a biker, and obviously Jughead didn't want to live in all those conditions. They probably were homeless for a while before he joined the gang. So Jughead didn't want to live under those conditions, and he probably went to go live in the drive-in. And if you look on the dad's face, you can really tell he feels bad the fact that he cannot provide for his son. And he's really asking Jughead when he asked him, so where are you going to live now? He probably really wants Jughead to come and live with him. I mean, who wouldn't? It's his son. So I'm really sad about all this. And as I'm sitting here looking, I ask myself, who left this bowl of onions here? I mean, guys, this had to have been the saddest moment in Riverdale yet. I mean, Jughead is homeless. And guess who is the reason he's homeless? Hermione Lodge and her husband. So I'm dead serious when I say I don't like Hermione Lodge right now. Veronica, I forgive you, but your mother, I don't like her. Jughead is homeless. And Mr. Andrews, I kind of don't like you either because you kind of ruined his dad's life as well. I mean, come on now. This was a very touching moment. I mean, I really wanted to cry. I mean, there was literally a bowl of onions sitting next to me at this moment. But guys, this is really a great episode. I really want to see what's going to happen here because considering that Veronica later in the episode find out that her mother is still working for her husband, maybe Veronica really feels bad for Jughead considering that she may find out that he actually lived there, and maybe this can strengthen their friendship and kind of can create a future ship, if you know what I mean. And by the way, I still haven't really decided on any of the ships. But guys, please let me know what you guys think of this episode in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And for more Riverdale reviews, hit that subscribe button. And we will see you guys next time.